Hey, kia ora. Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Sun City in Arizona. I hope you're all having a super fantastic and sparkling Thanksgiving. It has been an amazing day here. How has your Thanksgiving been today? Some of you may be sitting down for your Thanksgiving dinner about now. Some of you may have already had it. I don't even know what time the game was on. I did not watch the Macy's parade. How was that? I don't have TV, so couldn't watch that. Can't watch the game. But then I haven't seen a football game since the Super Bowl after Brad passed. And I didn't see any games after he passed until Super Bowl, and I just did it as an honor to him. And so yeah, I haven't seen any football yet, unless I've been to a house where they've had the football on. That's the only time, and I can't even tell you who was playing. Brad used to provide me with that information. Anyway, so how has your Thanksgiving been? Lots of love, laughter. Some places will have some tears because they're experiencing an empty seat at this time of year. For somebody who was with them last Thanksgiving is not with them this Thanksgiving, so now they're having that first empty seat at the table. So love and prayers go out to all of you experiencing that. But keep it alive. Keep their memories alive with the memories, the love, the laughter. It just makes it so much better when you can keep those memories alive. So what have I done today? Next to nothing, to be honest. Well, I started off the day, let's see. I was at the computer after I finished the live, and I do the live then the training, or the training then the live. Oh, I can't remember which way around I did that. Oh, no, I did the live after I did the training. That's right. So after that, I had something. Yesterday I was working on some business-related cards, getting them out. For people who had come through the chat, I had my little list, went down to that. So today I started doing my personal ones. So I got most of them done. There's a couple I need to check addresses on. So if you're on my list and I need to check your address, keep an eye on your Facebook Messenger, because there will be an address update coming from you, and there will be a link, and you'll see my picture on the link. So please know that there will be a genuine request for your address. So I can make sure that you get on my nice list. And then so I got that done. Then I watched some YouTubes. I got caught up on some of the ones I subscribed to, and the one I find one of the funniest ones to watch is there's one that's called the Point Shop. I think it's the Point Shop, and there's this woman there who owns the Point Shop, and they were talking point shoes that the ballerinas wear. Somebody came up with the idea of giving her a series of TikTok videos related to people being on point, which is being up on your toes, preferably in shoes, and watching them and giving her feedback on some of them. Well, watching her seeing half the screen is the TikTok, the other half is her expression, is absolutely hilarious. I love her reactions. I love how she breaks it down for us. And ballet is something I've always been interested in, but never learned. So I've always been interested in ballet. I love going to the ballet and watching it. So it was funny watching her reactions, especially the guy who went on point, but his toes were completely tucked under. So he's actually on the knuckles. So this is the foot area, this is the toes, and he's jumping on them. And the look on her face, and then they showed her another video, which I can't quite remember, but was not as bad as that, but pretty bad. And she stopped and says, "What, have you got me watching horror films or something?" It's like watching a horror movie. And then she had one dancer who was talking about some of the things that they get, some of the things the dance instructors say. And the woman from the Point Shop was cracking up, because she says, oh my gosh, she says, they may be in a different country and but she says the theme is there. The same message is there in those things. And she's going, oh my gosh, that one is so true. We always got that one get thrown at us. Oh yes, we got that one. So it was I enjoyed watching them, catching up on that one, because I enjoy watching that one, but when I have time. And so I watched that, and then I thought, oh, maybe I should have a snack. So my friend Vicky, when she was here, we went to Panera Bread one night, and she bought a dozen. We wanted a dozen chocolate chip cookies. They had no chocolate chip. This was the night we held up the line at Panera Bread in the drive-through. I don't know how many they had a full drive-through by the time we left. And so the guy was telling us what cookies he had left. So she ended up made up this batch of 12 cookies. And I'm not a big sugar cookie fan, but I ended up with these 2 sugar cookies in my little bag that she gave me. And she tells me what you do with them is that you spread cream cheese over the sugar cookie, and then you put fresh fruit on top. And that way you get, and she says it's just really, really good. And I thought, actually, that doesn't sound bad. So I got my dessert bowl out. I spread my cream cheese on top of one of the sugar cookies. I put it in the dessert bowl. I got out my pineapple and my cantaloupe and my grapes and blueberries and what else was in there? Pineapple, cantaloupe, blueberries, grapes. That was it. Excuse me. We just come back from a walk, and the wind's blowing, so I had crap blowing up my nose. And can't remember what else was on there. So I put all that on, and I thought, well, hang on, I have some cream, some heavy whipping cream. So I poured a little bit of that over, and I thought, chocolate. Got to put chocolate on top. Fruit and chocolate just go together so well. So I ended up scooping some chocolate ice cream on top, and then sat down and what did I put on? I put on some chick flick about some bride that ran away at Christmas. I don't know. It just sounded like a good movie. Just wanted to chillax at. And so had a really good dessert for lunch. Oh, I had some potato chips with it too. And I had these ones which a backyard cheeseburger flavored. And they're really, really good, except they're a little strong on the dill, and I am not on dill pickle flavor, and I am not a dill pickle fan. But otherwise, they're really good. So I had potato chips, ice cream, fruit, and a sugar cookie with some cream cheese. That was my lunch. And so I watched this movie, and then at the end of that movie, it was sort of like I was sitting there doing my jigsaw puzzles during that, and I'm trying to figure out what to watch next when my phone dings, and it's my mum wanting to know, do you want to get on Zoom? So I said, like, yeah, I could do that. And she says, when would you like to get on there? I says, yeah, I'm available anytime. She says, what about in 10 minutes? I says, done. So I got on a Zoom with my mum and dad. And then while I was talking with them, my oldest nephew arrived with his oldest daughter. So, and I haven't actually met my great niece in person yet, because she's never been around whenever I've been in New Zealand. And so, but I did, the last time I saw her was on a Skype call. I think it was a Skype call when she was just a small baby. She was only a few weeks or a few months old at the time when I saw her then. And now she's like 11 or 12 now. Great aunts should know this information. She's like 11 or 12. And she had an accident at school where she had fallen off some stuff and just had some bruising and was a little dizzy and all of that. So Jake had to go pick her up from school and brought her home, and because they weren't expected home for hours. And because I'm not looking at the clock going, it's like 12:30 over there. What's she doing home at this hour of the morning on a Friday? And so that's what had happened. So I got to talk with her for a little bit, and so that was kind of cool. And she showed me this amazing rock that she had found on one of the school trips they had done. And I loved it. It had all these great angles to it. It was about this long, and probably about this high. And it had these really cool angles to it, which caught the light very differently. And she says, but it looks so much better when it's wet. So while we're all talking, she goes off and wets the rock and comes back, and it's like a completely different rock. It still looked amazing, but in a different way. And so that is such a cool rock. She said it's still dirty. She's still got a lot of dirt to clean off it, but she's given it a good scrubbing so far. So I had a great conversation with them, and then they had to go and get lunch because it was getting towards 1 o'clock for them in the afternoon. And then I looked up at the clock and went, oh, it's almost dog walking time. So we've just got back from walking Zeffie. She had a great day. She just laid up there on the dashboard all afternoon. I did have to bribe her with treats to come over and sit next to me so mum and dad could see her, and then pseudo bribed her when Cash and Jake came online, and so they could see him. But she wasn't too impressed that she got up there and there was no treats. She was not impressed. So like I said, we just got back from our walk, and now I'm going to go and cook some butterfly shrimp for dinner. I'm going to put them into the air fryer. They only take a few minutes. And then we'll sit down and watch another movie. Probably going to watch an action movie this time, since on my chick flick fests, it's a chick flick in the morning. It's the first movie is always a chick flick, and then it's action movies for the rest of the day, or thrillers or mysteries or something like that, stuff that Brad would have watched. So he liked chick flick day because it meant he only had to suffer for 90 minutes through a girly movie, and then the rest of it was going to be action movies, thriller movies, mysteries, anything not a chick flick, basically. But also not into the sci-fi and fantasy stuff that he liked. So we had our common ground. Unless I started the day with Legally Blonde, then he did watch. That was one of his favorite chick flicks to watch, and I can't tell you how many times we have watched that movie. We have watched Legally Blonde so many times that, you know, if it was on, when Brad was channel surfing, who found Legally Blonde on, he would actually go and put that on. It didn't matter where in the movie it was. We knew the story so well. We knew exactly at what point they were and all of that sort of thing. And that was one of his favorite movies to watch. And then, like I said, I don't know how many times we've watched it, and all of a sudden he's sitting there, and at the scene with Warner and Al sitting in the restaurant, and she thinks she's going to get proposed to, and he's there to break up with her. And all of a sudden Brad goes, "That's where we got married." And I was reading, and I looked up and went, "What?" And he goes, "That's where we got married." And I'm like, wait, wind it back. And sure enough, the table that they were sitting at was on the exact spot that Brad and I got married in that restaurant. So that was really cool. So we'd already seen that movie, I don't know how many times prior to that. And that movie got moved up the favorite list quite a bit because of our personal connection with that scene. And so now every time I watch Legally Blonde, I'm like paying close attention to that screen going, yeah, we did get married. We got married there. We got married right there on that spot. Of course, it looked a little different because we had the candelabra. We had the standing candelabras with 3 candles on each candelabra with ivy wound up of it on either side. There was no tables there. And so, yeah, the room did look a little different at the time. And the hoopah was was decorated in, was actually left from a wedding the week before, and we specifically asked them, can you leave that there? Because the flowers that they had in the arrangement matched the flowers that we were using. Well, they were in the purple. They were in a color that was the same color as my dress, or matched my dress very well. And the restaurant were taking care of all the flowers, including the bouquet and all of that sort of stuff. So what are you doing? Did you get it, Zeph? Zeph found something that got behind something over there on the floor. She was busy digging it out. Yeah, she's found it. She's crunching on it now. And so they got all the flowers and stuff done for us. And so we specifically asked for those roses because they matched my dress. And so we had dried floral arrangements all over the hoopah. And that's where the musicians sat and played. So it was kind of cool. But yes, that scene looks very different from the scene from where it was that we got married, but it was the exact same spot that they were sitting on. And of course, as soon as he mentions that, we get on IMDb and we go and look to see what places were used for filming. And of course, the restaurant name was right there. So I was like, wow, that's so cool. And I said, and you picked that up? And I said, how many times have we watched this movie? And he was like, I don't know. And I said, it's taken up both of us this long to realize that. And he was the one that picked it up. So I was very impressed with my husband that day. You know, something had just totally escaped I had totally missed that place, that it was the place that we got married, and Brad was the one that recognized it. So I thought that was pretty cool. But anyway, how do we get onto that one? Oh yeah, watching movies. So yeah, so if we're watching Legally Blonde first, and then I was going into my normal thrillers, action and all that, he would start watching at that point. If I was just doing straight chick flicks, he was like, not interested. If it was like a Hallmark movie, not interested. but he knew that he had 90 minutes before I sat down and started watching the thrillers and the stuff that he was interested in as well. So so now we're up for action movie. We've done the chick flick. Now it's time for some action. I don't know which one to do. So many good movies. Might have to go pull the DVD binder up, but we're only have time for one, maybe two movies, depending on how long it is. Yeah. Now I'm wondering what type of movie to watch next. Anyway, I'm out of here. Go and enjoy the rest of your Thanksgiving. Hope you have a super fantastic, sparkling evening, and we'll be back bright and early tomorrow morning for Fun Friday. Yay! Hei konara.